Hi guys, once again this is Alfred from BinaryOptionsTutor.com. I'm here today to talk just a little bit about trading around Heiken Ashi candles. I've done this a lot in the done this a lot. As I was saying before I was interrupted by the robots in my ear. You guys may or may not hear them. I've done this a lot in the ESP room, and so I thought I would talk a little bit about Heikinashi because I'm starting to get. I got a couple of emails from guys asking, well, what is that indicator? Sometimes I'm doing stuff and I'm just thinking a lot of people have been exposed to the indicators before. These are Heikinashi candles. I'm going to talk a little more in detail about the candles. I'm going to also do a little demo trade right now because you can see we're bucking the trend of the Heikinashi candles. We got a really big push here down against the predicted or the indicative uptrend. So we're going to go ahead and take us a little call, and we're going to spend a little time now talking about Heikinashi, and we don't know what's going to happen. Don't know what's going to happen with that puppy, but we'll talk a little bit about these Heikinashi and the logic behind uh, the little bet that we just got involved in. So I got a couple of things here on my chart. I got, of course, my top chart. I've got my Heikinashi. These are actually Heikinashi smooth, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And I've got a simple slope direction. What I'm looking at primarily here is just a simple slope direction and the Heikinashi candles, and we're just going to trade off momentum. I do have some other stuff on here. This is a up down percentage indicator, and this is just the standard RSI. I'm not really focused as much on these, but I thought I'd drop them in because there's something that I look at sometimes to spot a possible ending uh, to a healthy trend, and that may be. I was waiting for a formation where that may be the case, and I can show you that at the same time. Okay, let's just jump right in here. First, let's explain the slope direction. Is just as the name implies, it's just giving you. I've got mine colored red for momentum on the downtrend, and we've got a blue for momentum on the blue for momentum on the uptrend. Uh, Same as the many videos that we've done where I talk about moving averages. I'm looking to be short or doing puts or selling uh, either spot or spread positions when we're trading below a red uh, slope. I'm looking to be long, uh, buying or doing calls when we're trading above this blue slope direction, and that's just a simple rule of thumb there. Uh, the Heiken candles are these little ghost candles here. uh, just below the actual price candles. Now, what's fascinating about Heiken Ashi is they're working off of the push and pull of the average price. So, with that in mind, I like to see when the average price is above the slope direction, because that's telling me that on average the price is trading above this MA right here, and the slope direction is pointing up. So all of these factors are telling me that we have momentum going to the upside. I'm not trying to predict, I'm simply trying to be on the right side of the table. Now, another thing I like about Heiken is right here we've got these little ghost candles, and they're telling us a little, there's a little imagery of where the top of our little average imaginary candle would be and where the bottom of our little imaginary candle average would be. And what this means is, as I see that I'm trading above these Heiken candles that are plotted, um, it's giving me more indication that there's a strong uptrend in place right there. Now, sometimes we're going to dig down in on a lot of the other live trade videos you've seen me talk about. Dig on into that Heiken, and that's when the actual real-time price is digging into this average price here, and that's a sign for me of a pullback in a place where I might consider entering for a buy, and trying to see if I can pop something off. These are just 15-minute candles, and the Heiken would be 15 minutes to go along with them. Now, earlier I talked about these Heiken being smooth, and what that means essentially is a lots of times, just in my opinion, this is what I think happens a lot. Guys sit down to trade, and one of the things that's difficult is uh, staying staying the course. You know, if the market tends to dip a little against you, especially if you begin to move from just doing binary options where your exits are predefined into doing actual spot trades or spread trades or something like that. When you're using indicators that are smooth, a lot of the back and forth that you'll see is indicators cross. Like here's an example of a little cross. Okay, we cross down. Okay, then we cross back up, and that's just right there. You can see it on this up down percentage. Now that aggravates a lot of people. It's called repainting or whatever. It's really just, these are just indicators, and they're only capable of indicating what's actually going on in real time in the market. What I'm looking to do is get the indicator to um, give me an idea of where uh, the math is leading me to believe that the momentum is going, and then I'm looking at my price action to give me an idea. Again, sometimes there's an indicator like this Heiken where we have the opportunity to look at these little ghost candles and see where the average price, if this were like area that would be a good fair value, and then we have a opportunity to watch those candles that are the real-time price dip into these Heiken like here in this example, and hopefully find a decent entry. Now, the reason I like these smooth is because often the Heiken will remain one color. Like here in this example, we were at the top of a the start of a downtrend, and you can see these Heiken remaining this same color. Although we have a few instances of closes with a green candle here, these smooth Heiken, they're prone to remain the same color even more. And I think it's kind of helpful psychologically for some. And even when you've laid out the rules and the examples, it's just a reminder of why you put on the trade in the first place, and what conditions are there. This slope direction remains in that same color. Uh, it's above the Heiken and the Heiken are below. That's indicative that fair price is below the slope direction. Uh, the actual price in the market is even below the Heiken. That's indicative that we have stronger momentum to the downside, and that's the type of strong momentum that you want to be involved with, and that can sometimes help you find your way in a few hours to bigger moves in your favor. Now, there's going to be a point where these Heiken are going to turn. We see this right here. Giant impulsive candle push all the way over to the other side of the Heiken, and we see a little sell-off because it takes a little bit more than that to convince a lot of more seasoned guys in the market that this is indeed a turn. But this is a warning sign, I would say, that the market may be beginning to turn. This is why I've got my little up-down percentage on here. My up-down percentage, even in spite of this uh, uh, impulsive candle here, uh, red over blue, telling us that the trend is still moving down, and we're still below our slope direction. So that was possibly just a little pinch of a fake out there. Um, if you were to exit here, or you were to exit here, this would be a better place to exit. If you start to see this trade breaking out, that's sometimes what I use that for. Uh, Now, if you're just very persistent, where the trade's breaking down even more at is we've seen the Heiken turn. They're turning blue and positive, and here we're seeing our first close above the slope direction. Now that means the idea that got us in way back here, where we were going short and selling the market, that's over, and the it's breaking down, so it's time to leave. And also, we can see that relative to our slope direction, the Heiken are not. They're starting to get closer and just really trading fair value. If these Heiken were to represent that, it's telling us that uh, on average we're around fair value. We want to be either in a pullback, or we want to be participating in a strong momentum to one side or the other. Again, these are just indicators. Uh, that's a gap trade there. We really couldn't count that. There's a little push there. Sometimes the Heiken is going to turn, and if you're not in a trade, gives you maybe a little bit time to get in earlier. If you see a decent push, and up down percentage can sometimes help me time getting in, maybe a little bit before price is actually crossing and trading above or certainly even before my slope direction is actually changed, because slope direction is just like it sounds. It's just the actual uh, slope of the indicator of the moving average, and that's going to take a little time to either get to a point of ascension or descending. So this helps me get in a little bit earlier. If you're going to speculate, you would rather be at the start of a trend, because maybe you can just scalp a few pips and get out, rather than, or even if you can't get out with a little profit, you probably can get out closer to break even in some instances, if that's part of your risk tolerance. Um, Here we see another push. We see that check, slope direction change. Heiken Ashi are up. Price itself in real time is above that Heiken Ashi. Now these are all checking out to give us some strong indication, because price is actually above the average. Heiken Ashi, which is like average price in a candle, is above this slope, and the slope is inclined to the upside. So this gives us some indication to get in and go long. And that's pretty much it. That's how you're trading Heiken Ashi. There are going to be breaks. Um, when those breaks occur, you can ask yourself, is this a turn? Uh, Here goes a break where we started showing some red Heiken Ashi. Is this really a turn? RSI is starting to get over here to a oversold scenario, so maybe it's not a good idea to go long there. To how long can this be? Is what I'm getting at. If 30 is oversold position, how much further could we run from there? And that can be anything, but a good way to gauge it is how how long do you intend on being in the trade. And if you don't, and it's not common practice to be in trades very long. Uh, it's probably just something for your own personal benefit to avoid entering there. And it looks kind of flat. It's down, but it doesn't meet our criteria because the slope direction isn't down. And that's another thing to help call you out of just solely using Heiken Ashi as an indicator of whether or not to participate in a trade. Now, looking back over here on the trade that I done at the top of this video, we were pushing down really aggressively into our slope direction here, but it was still blue, and we still had some blue Heiken Ashi, and this was a really big thrust candle. We got in there, and we were looking to do a call. So far, it looks like this trade is moving in a uptrend direction, and we'll see what happens with this trade. But essentially, what I'm getting at is using the Heiken Ashi and maybe using something like a slope direction, whatever you prefer, and maybe even using something like our percentage, up down percentage here, and just trying to stay on the direction of the predominant trend in the sync inside of the cycle of uh, whichever way the momentum of the market is playing. Now, I waited for an extreme pullback here for a reason, because this could either be the start. These could be they're indicating now we're seeing some Heiken Ashi push and point to downtrend. Now this can either be the start of some downtrend, and I was aware of that when I got in on this big push here, or it could be a fake out, and we retreated off of that slope direction line, and we could have a resumption. Just maybe the market needed to take a little breather, and we may have another resumption of the uptrend. This is dollar yen, and I've been long dollar yen for a long time now, and so I erred on the side of a call with our little demo trade, and uh, I done this because I want to point out two scenarios, and this is a good place where one of the scenarios is likely to play out. Either this market was going to just continue and resume, and we would have traded below this, and we still may trade below this slope direction, and we may have started breaking down in real time and started showing some uh, red Heiken, which we're doing here, but it gives you an opportunity to see not an easy an easy spot to enter a trade. This is kind of like a precipice of whether or not this is the start of a down trade and with momentum to the downside, or whether it's a maybe the first signs of uptrend breaking down, which just my personal opinion, this might be the start of that. And if it is, then it's a chance to maybe do a little quick binary. That's like, it was like in between 20 or 30 minutes and get out. Um, but this right here is really when you want to see formations like this, really strong momentum trading above price on the Heiken. Heiken itself above slope direction, everything indicative of up upwards momentum, because that's telling you that so far on average the speed of that price is ascending to the upside faster than it's going to the downside, and hopefully if you get in there with a binary option, time will be working on your side rather than against you. And that's really all I have that comes to mind to talk about Heiken. Lots of times on those other videos that I post from the ESP room, that's all I'm doing. I'm trying to combine price action with what the indicators are showing us, and some trades are going to win, obviously, and some trades are going to lose. It's all about managing your risk and coming out with more, getting a little bit more out of the market than what the market is willing to take from you. So until next time, I hope this has helped some guys. I'll try and post this Heiken smooth indicator. Uh, we use a different customized version of this indicator with a little bit more analytical stuff inside of binary options tutor.com premium area. And if you guys would be interested in that, there's more information about that in the description of this video. I hope this has helped clear up some things and give you guys some ideas about trading with the Heiken, and most importantly, trading with the trend in every effort that you can to keep momentum on your side and trade in an area of time where there's strong momentum in one direction as early as you can. Again, an area strong momentum to the upside. Uh, I can't count this area. That's a gap trade. Uh, here again, start of an area where there's strong momentum to the downside. Um, Downtrend on our slope direction. Heiken Ashi smooth trading below the slope direction. Price itself trading below the Heiken Ashi. These are our three simple checks. Once again, this is Alfred for BinaryOptions.com. I'm sorry, BinaryOptions Tutor.com. See you guys on the next video.